trying to wake up a little bit. I took a nap when I got home from like work and stuff, so
I feel that.
no shame.
So, what draws your interest to being the web content director?
Well, I love writing, and especially this semester, I've actually been interning downtown at City Beat, so I've gained experience with some editing, and I've really grown to really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think writing and editing, that's kind of what I really enjoy, just writing stories about, the latest Netflix or like some concert that just happened. And I'm kind of planning on creating a blog over the summer, since I'll be down here over the summer, just kind of going to random concerts and festivals and just writing about that kind of stuff. So, I mean, a lot of it's writing, and it's kind of cool to see what other people like to write about. Like, I like to write about television shows because I'm a huge Netflix nerd. But like some of my friends, they like to go to concerts, or they're of age and they're able to drink, so they enjoy writing about beer. It's like everybody has something different to bring along and different interests. I think that's kind of cool, and I think that's what writing brings.
Okay.
Cool.
What do you know about WordPress?
Well, I actually have a portfolio that I made on like WordPress. I started learning about it a couple of years ago when I knew I had to get it going because I needed an internship to graduate. So my friend kind of helped me out, like get started with it. But then I've been able to kind of go in and like learn more HTML and CSS, that kind of stuff. And I actually took a course on it last semester about web development. So it's kind of like I know how to use WordPress, and I also know some of the code that goes behind it too, in case if there's like a little tweak that needs to be fixed.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so you've been with us for a long time in Bearcast, and, which is awesome. Yeah. And so you've seen a lot of where Bearcast has gone in the past couple of years. Where do you think Bearcast can improve? Where do you think we're lacking? What do you think we can do to better our organization inside and out?
I'm trying to think. The one thing I did notice that was kind of cool that I saw this year was like the different Facebook live streams and stuff. I thought that was really good, especially because I was running for student government this semester. It was really good, at least like on my end, to be like, oh, cool, like this is a way for people who might not be able to make it out, or they might have class, they can go back and watch it, that kind of stuff. I think having more of that stuff would be really cool to do. I know like about articles and stuff, I think, they could be promoted a little bit more, just because I know writers, they work really hard, and, whoever's editing behind the scenes, pretty much, whoever's doing the editing on that, like, I know they work really hard too, because editing articles is it's not really like easy, but it's also not too bad either. But I do have editing experience with at least text and stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool, like, to have an option to like with like articles and stuff. Like if like there could be like a little page about just like photos that people took, like photo galleries and like video stuff. Yeah, just stuff like that. Or like maybe encourage people to like do some photography for their own photos, like if they're at a concert or a festival or something, like just take a couple photos on your cell phone and just send them over.
Cool.
What if someone made a photo gallery for the website, but you have strong feelings against it and you have to give them difficult feedback? How would you handle it?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Let me rephrase it. So, like, tell me a time where you had to give someone difficult feedback. It could be anything, where you had to approach someone and they did something for you, but you had to give them feedback that might be difficult. Okay. Yeah.
Well, let's see here. I know that I've had friends who've been taking like some English classes and stuff, and especially like this semester we have had to do like peer reviews and stuff. And like there were like instances where I'm like, oh, this is really awful. But I was like, okay, maybe just fix this, like put a little comment or whatever, just be like, yeah, here are some of the good things I found, but here's some stuff that we can improve on. And like maybe offer some advice and some tips on how to get better, because I mean, writing, video, all that stuff, you can always get better at.
So part of web content would be dealing with our social media people, whoever that would be. What would sort of your strategies be with that? Like, how involved would you want to be with that? And how would you sort of approach social media in regards to web content?
I know that for articles, video, anything that like the students create, I know they want to get it like shared somewhere. So I would at least want to make sure that their content's getting like shared somewhere, whether if it's on
right.
like the Bearcast Facebook page, the Twitter, just as long as it's somewhere that like other people can read or watch, that would probably be, as much as involvement as I would want to be in. But I mean, I'm more than happy to bounce ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
Just because I have experience with social media myself. I've been working with like the University of Cincinnati's Odyssey chapter as their social media director, so it's kind of like I've been on like that end too, a little bit.
Cool. So a question for both web content and social media. So hopefully next year we're looking to launch BTV. We're going to have our first like live TV show on the 21st. How do you think we can use both web content or social media to have the most successful push for that in those two departments?
I know like through my experience like in journalism and stuff, like I know that if there's like TV, if there's like supplemental materials, like extra stuff that's on the website, that would help too. So like, oh yeah, here's like this 2-minute video on like this concert that happened. Well, what if there was an interview like on the website that like went with that video, for example? So like just extra stuff that like might not be on TV, like a photo gallery or something. I think that would help. And then with social media, kind of the same thing, just making sure that everyone's like work gets promoted and that kind of thing. And just letting people know like when it's going on. And I think also what would be kind of cool is kind of have like behind the scenes videos, like the Facebook Live stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool, just like behind the scenes stuff.
So when you say push it on social media, how exactly would you do that? Well, what's your thought process for going about pushing BTV? Where would you think to do it?
Well, I mean, of course, just letting people know, hey, we're like, here's like the stuff that's coming up for the day, like on BTV, like this is at 5:30, this is at like 6, like that kind of thing. So that way people, they know like that it's happening. Just kind of little reminders like that, because I know for me, I would need that. Yeah, that kind of stuff, and like behind the scenes stuff. So like, oh yeah, here's what it kind of looks like a couple minutes before we go on air, just because I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And other people want to know.
That sort of interactivity is
yeah,
really strong. But yeah, those are both great answers. Obviously social media is really to facilitate and tell people what's going on.
Yeah.
And then like you said, that's a great example of people really eat that stuff up is here's like what
right.
the look like.
Yeah, I mean people want to be a part of the experience too, especially college students. They want to be involved, but maybe not too involved, but they want to just be at least engaged with the content and like the stuff that like everyone's doing.
Mm-hmm.
When you read an online article and there's part of it that's frustrating, what part would be the most frustrating to you? Like what pet peeves do you have when you read an article and something you feel is not right?
I know for me, I'm like the person that looks for grammar and stuff, but those are really quick fixes. But I think in general, if there's like a lack of just organization, like it doesn't flow really well, because it's kind of like my thing. Like if it doesn't flow well with organization, grammar, like if it's all over the place, that kind of bothers me a little bit. That kind of stuff, really. I mean, I'm pretty like open to like all ideas and everything. Like everyone has a different interest, a different voice to bring to the table with writing, so I'm not really picky. I don't have any of that mindset coming in.
Okay.
What do you think the web content director can do this year that we haven't done in the past year? What can we bring to that? How can we have it more engaged with general body and the people on our website?
I know for like writers, I think it'd be kind of cool to like kind of look at each other's work and like say, hey, this was really good about it, like kind of like peer stuff, like peer like workshops, that kind of thing. So where like other people could read each other's work and say, hey, this was really cool, but like here's where we could have gotten better at it. And also learning how to edit your own work too, like especially with writing, because I know I hate looking over my old stories and I'm just like, ooh, this is rough. But I mean, it's kind of good to know how to like edit your own stuff too, because what if somebody approaches you like, hey, can you look at this paper for me? It's like 2 pages. You never know where it's going to come in, and it's always good to just get better at writing. There's not really a stop to the writing process ever.
Mm-hmm. How would this role provide you a link to your future career progression?
I know I want to go in a direction where there's like a lot of writing and editing. I kind of want to. I'm kind of thinking of like that area with like writing, editing, multimedia stuff, publishing. I think would be interesting too. So I'm keeping my mind open for right now. I know for right now, I'm kind of actually contemplating on going to law school after I graduate next year. So I know there's a lot of writing and editing right there.
Yeah.
But like I'm like open to writing about anything. Like I know this semester over at City Beat, I've written like their like to-do picks and stuff like that, where like we basically write like about what's happening like next weekend. So like I wrote an article about like the Cincinnati like art museums, like art after dark stuff, which was kind of cool. So just like being like exposed to different stuff like in different areas and cultures is kind of cool to me.
Okay. Do you have any? You guys have any questions?
That's also what I have.
Do you have any questions for us?
So far, I don't think I do offhand.
All right.
All right.
Well, you can feel free to email us. You have
All right.
you have our email addresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and we'll be letting you know the results next week.
Next week, yeah.
Cool. That's exciting.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Whew.
Cool.
Gonna go
Thanks
back
for
out
coming
into
in.
the cold.
Yeah, we appreciate
I
you
didn't
coming in.
expect it. I like left work today and I'm like, oh, it's a downpour.
I know. Yeah, I didn't expect it to rain so hard. Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.